Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm going to share some information with you all that came through channeled from Madeleine McCann. A few things came through, not a lot, but I've written it down here, so I'm going to share that. Maddie's come through quite a lot actually recently in my energy. I've not really had any messages, but I've certainly felt that she wants to speak. She wants me to look into the case more and share what comes through. She often shares things in visions with me, actually, which is quite interesting. That is often how we channel. But I feel there's something about her energy as well that, yeah, it's interesting, my voice is quivering as I say that, which would be around the throat chakra. I feel that something, unfortunately, was done to her soul in terms of not being able to speak up. Some sort of spell, to be honest. I mean, I don't dabble in that stuff, but there is something quite dark about this case. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to extend this reading and do a bonus for members actually and go into more detail, share a few things that I won't share in this reading, and I'm going to try and do some automatic writing as well. Also, when Maddie came through, I kept seeing her in a blue football shirt, and I know for a fact there's an image of her on the web in a blue football shirt. She's got her hand up on her head. So there's something about that image, that I was seeing for a reason. Blue, obviously a link to the sea. I still believe she's in the sea. But I'm going to share a little bit more about that as well in the bonus reading I do for members. So if you're a member, please join us there. If you'd like to join, please do. I do bonus true crime readings monthly. So, in terms of what came through, now this is quite interesting actually, what came through, because it goes deeper now than just Madeleine going missing, and what happened, which obviously I've looked at in quite a few of my readings already. If you haven't seen those, please check them out. They're in the true crime playlist on my channel. And obviously I felt that there was like a society behind this, a cover-up. But what came through this morning was dark web, and this dark web spans across many countries. And there's a link in terms of what happens in all these countries to what happened to Maddie and sadly many other children. So this case is pivotal, I feel, in terms of trying to uncover this stuff. It's very interesting as well that Jill Dando came through, like the name, Jill Dando BBC. Now I did a reading on Jill Dando, again watch that if you haven't seen it, and if you saw it you'll know that I was saying that Jill found some stuff out linked to people at the BBC, and I believe that's why she was sadly taken out, and that was in 1999, which is very interesting. If we think that Maddie went missing in 2007, so there's stuff that's been going on for years, clearly. The name Brian came out, I do believe that's linked to the BBC somehow. And also Telford, I heard that's a place of interest. So it could be a place where this sort of stuff is prominent. Ring CSA came out again. I believe it was my first ever reading that Ring came through. I kept seeing rings. I was really being drawn to rings, and obviously you can deduce the type of ring, that I'm talking about here. But yeah, as I said, this is like global, this dark web. And this is quite interesting what came through. because I really feel that this is important that some people investigate this. There's a key person in Praia da Luz who transports children. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. Some have died, unfortunately. My camera just cut out there, so I was just saying unfortunately. And some have lived, and they have seen this. They've seen some of these children who've died. Wow, I'm suddenly getting this overwhelming guilt come over me now that I'm channeling. So yeah, there are some people out there who are survivors, of what happened when they were children, and they have feelings of guilt, which is very common in terms of CSA. Now this key person is a male, and I was also getting a female who manages the children. So there are two of them, or there were two of them in that place. It seems Praia da Luz, there's more to that place than meets the eye. It's like one of these places around the world. There are others, by the way. And then I just had a nap, actually. I got very drowsy. So, we do have to sort of rest and recharge our batteries when we do these readings. But when I was coming round, I saw this image in my mind's eye. A triangle with an eye. Now, with the triangle, I'm getting this secret society. Some people make that sign with their hands. Now, if you ever see that, by the way, in photos, people in videos doing that, they're basically making a signal to other members of those societies around the world. As I said, this spans many countries. That's their sign, with this all-knowing eye. They all know who each other are. Well, some of us do as well. They're not the only ones with a third eye. We all have a third eye. It's just a case of, do you use it to its full potential? And more people are waking up. So that symbol is significant in terms of these people. And then as I was coming round, I just heard hypnotised. I was feeling really groggy, because this is how I channel. I feel stuff, sense stuff. I was getting hypnotised, given chemicals. So this is what happened to a lot of these children, sadly. Whereby they'll be very confused as adults now, because they were kind of made to believe different things when they were hypnotised in terms of who they are, what happened. But hypnosis doesn't cover everything up. The mind and the brain are amazing, in terms of where we lock things away in the brain and how repressed memories can come forth. Now, unfortunately, for some, there's a case of doubt, self-doubt. Am I right in what I'm saying? Am I wrong? That kind of thing. So it's very sad in terms of these children and what they've been through, who many are adults now. And they were given chemicals, so they were groggy as well when a lot of these things happen. So it will be very hazy in terms of memories that they have, where they came from as well. But I do believe some, will be having flashbacks. This is what I'm being shown. Flashbacks, memories, confusion. Some will be having therapy, and some of these things will come out. Now, I do have more to share on the hypnosis actually, but again I'll share that in the private reading that I do, so if you're interested please join us there. So now let's go back to Maddie. I definitely am getting that she was given some chemicals, and even the hypnotism, there's something there that went on with her. She was definitely linked to this ring as well, which has come through in my other readings. Very sad, obviously. But it's very interesting how this case is spoken about a lot. But I believe that's because of all the money that's been pumped into this in terms of keeping it alive in the media, which it is. There's always something new, isn't there, in the media? In terms of, oh, someone's been arrested, new evidence has been found, that kind of thing. So obviously it keeps people interested in the case, and so on and so forth. It goes on and on and on. But there's more behind that. Because there is a large sum of money that's allocated every year to Operation Grange. I now know they're called Operation Grange, who are involved in investigating this case. I do remember in one of my readings I said there's an Operation something. This case is Operation something, and that came through channeled. I didn't know anything about Operation Grange at the time, so now I do, and I know that it's something like, I think one year it was like 900,000 or a million that they were given, and you just think, who gives them that money? What's that money for? Well, it's to keep it going, to keep it circulated, to keep the story running, so to speak. It's like a cash cow, unfortunately. It's so sad. And you've got to ask yourself why. Why that case out of so many others that go amiss? Well, again, if we go deeper, the people behind this are, let's say, powerful, or, so they think, because they have money. This all happened for a reason as well, in terms of this society and people wanting to get up the ladder. And that one energy right at the top has basically controlled everything as a result. They said, I'm not going to name names here, but they said to some people, we will make sure that this whole case is covered up. We will take care of all of the funding, and a couple of people went up the ladder as a result of what happened. But you just got to think, I'm getting this sadness come over me. All of these children, where do all these children come from? Because I'm seeing like thousands of them now in my mind's eye that this happens to on a yearly basis. It still happens, by the way. And we need to uncover this now. We are uncovering this. This is why this case, as I said, is so big in many ways, in terms of what it's hiding. It's more than just one case, one child. And I still see Maddie as this guide, saviour for a lot of these children. That's sort of like her role. A lot of people have been paid off, silenced, especially those who've got close to the truth, like Jill Dando, for example. And that's how this has just continued so much. It's so sad. What can we all do? I mean, I'd like to open this up to all of you in the comments. As much as, we're speaking about it, getting it out there, people can speculate. What can we do? It's like we need our own system almost, that's out of the corrupt system, which we have at the moment, all around the world. Like Operation Grange, for example, I imagine have their own legal team. So how's that fair? When they're being funded by a certain group, for example. I'll leave that at that. And then, other organisations as well, the authorities, for example, all have these different individuals dotted around in these different organisations, and that's how this web is just, it remains there. I'm just seeing this web over the world, covering everything up. And obviously we see this in many other cases that I've looked at. That's how I realise how much this goes on in our world, and it's time for us to start uncovering it, I believe. So I'm going to leave that there because it's very sad. Obviously, I've just got this sadness at the moment that's come over me because of all these souls that I'm picking up on. Who, many who, I'm getting so many emotions now, like many who will not even be remembered. Many, weren't even known about in terms of who they were. So, very sad indeed. Thanks so much for being here. Please do comment if there's anything that you'd like to share with us all. It's much appreciated. Thanks for watching, for your support, for your kind donations. What's just come over me is the word vigil. So I'm just wondering, just thinking out loud really, about maybe whether we should have a vigil for all of these souls. Just sort of sharing our love and acknowledging so many, who went unmissed is the word that's coming through. It's so sad to say that, but that's what's coming through. Okay, so I'll leave that there. As I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.